In the center of Amsterdam stands a building that became one of the most famous locations of the Second World War. For more than 2 years, 8 Jewish people hid in a secret space behind a business at Prinsengracht 263. Among them was Anne Frank, a teenage girl whose diary would later become one of the best-known accounts of the Holocaust. Anne Frank was born in Frankfurt, Germany, on June 12, 1929. She lived with her father Otto, her mother Edith, and her older sister Margot. When Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party came to power in 1933, Jewish people in Germany faced growing discrimination and persecution. Otto Frank decided to move his family to Amsterdam, where he started a business. For several years, Anne lived a relatively normal life. She went to school, made friends, and enjoyed reading and writing. Everything changed in May 1940, when Nazi Germany invaded the Netherlands. Jewish people were gradually excluded from public life. They had to register with the authorities, attend separate schools, obey strict restrictions, and wear a yellow star on their clothing. Otto Frank understood that his family was in danger. He began preparing a hiding place behind his business premises. On June 12, 1942, Anne received a red and white check diary for her 13th birthday. Less than 1 month later, Margot received an official order to report for forced labor in Germany. The family decided to go into hiding immediately. On July 6, 1942, Otto, Edith, Margot, and Anne left their home and walked to the business premises. Behind the main building was a hidden annex that could not easily be seen from the street. The entrance was later concealed behind a movable bookcase. The Frank family was soon joined by Hermann and August von Pels, their son Peter, and a dentist named Fritz Pfeffer. 8 people now lived in the small annex. They depended on helpers, including Miep Gies, Bert Voskuil, Johannes Kleiman, Victor Kugler, and Jan Gies. These people brought food, clothing, books, and news from outside. Helping Jewish people hide was extremely dangerous. If discovered, the helpers could also be arrested. Life in the secret annex was difficult. During working hours, the people in hiding had to remain almost completely silent. Employees worked in the building below, and any unusual sound could reveal their presence. They could not go outside. The curtains remained closed, and they lived with constant fear. Food became harder to find, privacy was limited, and arguments were common. Anne continued to study and write. Her diary became a place where she recorded her emotions, fears, hopes, and frustrations. She wrote about her family, the other people in hiding, the war, and her dream of becoming a journalist or writer. In March 1944, Anne heard a radio broadcast from the Dutch government in exile. Citizens were asked to preserve diaries and documents about life during the occupation. Anne realized that her diary might one day be published. She began rewriting parts of it and planned a book titled The Secret Annex. In June 1944, the Allied landings in Normandy gave the residents hope that the war might soon end. But on August 4, 1944, German officers entered the building. They discovered the hidden annex and arrested all 8 people. The exact reason the hiding place was discovered remains uncertain. It has never been conclusively proven that a specific person betrayed them. After the arrest, Miep Gies found Anne's diary and papers on the floor. She kept them, hoping to return them to Anne after the war. The 8 residents were first taken to prison and then to the Westerbork transit camp. On September 3, 1944, they were deported to Auschwitz-Birkenau. Anne and Margot were later transported to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp in Germany. Conditions there were terrible. The camp was overcrowded, food was scarce, and disease spread quickly. Anne and Margot both died, probably in February 1945, shortly before British forces liberated the camp. Anne was 15 years old. Of the 8 people who lived in the secret annex, only Otto Frank survived the Holocaust. After the war, Otto returned to Amsterdam. Miep Gies gave him Anne's diary and other writings. As Otto read the pages, he discovered how deeply Anne had thought about herself, the war, and the world around her. He decided to publish her work. The diary was first published in Dutch in 1947 under the title Het Achterhuis, meaning the secret annex. It was later translated into many languages and became one of the most widely read books about the Holocaust. Anne Frank's diary does not tell the complete story of the Holocaust. 6 million Jewish people were murdered by Nazi Germany and its collaborators, along with millions of other victims. Anne's story is one personal story within that enormous tragedy. Her writing shows how persecution affected a real family and a young girl who,